Hi there, I'm Carolyn Dickerson from Look Great, Lose Weight, SaveMoney.com. The summer is getting along, and I have decided that I wanted to put a couple of highlights in my hair, and so today I'm going to be showing you how to highlight your hair using bleach. So this edition will be highlighting your hair with bleach. Now there are a lot of components of bleaching your hair, and I don't do this very often just because it's not good for your hair and it stresses your hair. But I only want to put a couple of lighter streaks around my face, and the easiest and fastest way to do it is with bleach. Now I could use color, but I've decided that I just want to bleach it, make it really quick, and get it and get out of there. So that's what we're going to be reviewing today. Now there are a lot of things to go over, so I'm going to be going and moving pretty quickly. I do not recommend that you bleach your own hair. I really don't. This video is for people who have bleached their hair before, have had experience with bleach. This is not to be done with younger, 13, 14, 15-year-olds experimenting. You really need to know what you're doing when you mess with bleach, because it's very strong. So that I highly recommend that you get some help from a mom or an older sister if you're younger and you want to put some highlights in your hair using bleach. It's very strong. You need to have a window open in the room that you're bleaching in because of the fumes, and you really need someone overseeing you. That said, let's go over a couple of things first. Now, the first thing that you need to know is that, a lot of people, when they have really dark hair, they try, using a color in their hair because they want to be blonde. Well, you can't do it. You're going to end up with orange or red hair every time. You've got to do either a double process or you've got to have a professional. Hopefully you do a double color process because that's more gentle on your hair. But, bleaching your entire hair is not a good idea. I don't recommend it. Doing a couple of highlights every now and then, that's a good thing. But if you can see these are the 10 stages of decolorization. Now, if you've got really dark hair, you're down here at the bottom level, and your hair is going to have to go through all of these color changes to get to blonde. But if you're like a light brown color, you could start out in around the orange level and only have a few stages that you need to go through to get to blonde. Since my hair is basically light brown with some dark brown in it, some reds in it, but it's mostly light brown, I'm not going to have that long to wait before my hair gets through processing. And processing is one thing you have to watch. You cannot go play a game on the computer or watch a program on TV. You've got to stay with it, watch the color lifting, move it around every now and then, look at it, and when it's done, you've got to get it out of there, okay? Now, there's some things you're going to need. You're going to need a color cape. If you don't have a color cape, just use an old button-up shirt. You're going to need bleach, and you're going to need to look for bleach that has bluing action in it. This tub right here has lasted me probably 10 years. If you keep it sealed up, it'll last. It'll still be fine. You're going to need some 40 volume peroxide. You've got to have 40 volume peroxide to lift. Unless you've got really light hair and you're just lifting it a little bit, then you can use a 20 or a 30 volume. And you've got to have hooks because you've got to pull bleach through a cap. It's not a good idea to use foils with bleach unless you're only doing a few, because the foils are too hard to keep undoing and redoing and checking and that kind of thing. Pulling your hair through a cap is much easier. So you're going to need hooks. Now these are something I picked up at Sally's. It's a set of 3. that you can buy. These are a little bit larger than I like to use. I have these, which are very small, and they were, when I was worked in a salon, they're sun glitz hooks, and they're smaller. I like them a lot better. So that's what I'll be using today. And you're going to need a non-metal bowl. This is a L'Oreal cream color mix, half of the bowl that I've got. You need to mix it either in plastic or porcelain, but don't ever use metal. And a brush. This is a L'Oreal brush that I had when I worked in the salon. And then you're going to need caps. These are sun glitz caps, and they just happen to sell them at the beauty store. And I'll show you these in a little while. And you'll need a cap to go over the bleach once you get the bleach applied. And these are all bunched up together, but you know what a cap looks like. It's just a clear, it's just a cap, and it'll go over the bleach or the color, if you're using color, that you've just applied. So those are the things that you really need to have before you even think about starting on highlighting your hair with bleach. Okay, I've got my cape on, and I'm going to get ready to start pulling my hair through the cap. But I wanted to talk about what you're going to do with your hair before you pull your hair through the cap. Now, if you want your highlights to run along your part line, I suggest that you make your part where it normally goes. A lot of people brush their hair back. If you just want random highlights, you can brush your hair back and have it all pulled out of your face and then put the cap on. But I like to highlight along my part, and to ensure that I'm going to part my hair where I normally part it. That way I'm going to be sure for the highlights to show up when I part my hair. So, now a lot of times people with long hair have a really hard time pulling their hair through a cap. So to solve that, you can use some No More Tangles, any kind of detangler in your hair. You can use OC Slip Conditioner in your hair and just leave some of it in your hair. Or you can use a product like a Shine Spray, and this will add a lot of oils real fast. Of course, you can use the oil too, the Shine Oil. Either one, but you need to get that into your hair if your hair is longer, because it is more difficult to pull through a cap. Now, I'm not expecting to get a whole lot of longer pieces in here, but I am going to get some longer pieces. So I'm going to apply this to my hair liberally, because I'm going to wash it out, so it doesn't matter if my hair looks greasy right now. It's going to be a lot easier to pull through the cap using a product like this. So I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back.